it's the biggest dream, even just like growing up and being in the academy, just watching the older guys ahead of me winning championships, running around the stadium with my dad while he's working up top. It's just always been a dream to win a championship, and to win that fourth one, it'd be so sweet for the last year for sure.
Welcome to episode 392 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland, and this is part 2 of our WCBL Season Preview Extravaganza. Yeah, it has been a crazy week already, hasn't it? We've hit the midway point, and believe it or not, we are just a day away from the start of the WCBL season. Action starts up Thursday, then it's full steam ahead right through mid-August. To get us there, we chatted with 6 players from the East Division on the last episode. This time around, we head to the West Division, and we'll start things off with the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who finally got past the Okotoks Dawgs after their third try. They came within just a few inches, frankly, of claiming their first championship as well, had it not been for the Regina Red Sox. It still stings, according to veteran pitcher Rempel, who's back for his third season on the lake. He's coming off a solid campaign at Cloud County Community College, where he went 3-0 in 16 appearances, posting a 6.75 ERA and 31 strikeouts. Kai, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
The 2026 WCBL season is upon us. How excited are you to get things rolling?
Well, I'm ecstatic. I feel like it's going to be another great year, another kind of dogfight through the west side, and so it's gonna be super fun to see kind of which team comes up on top.
A season removed from coming so close to winning it all. Is there still a bitter taste in the mouth after that one, or have you guys moved on and said, okay, bigger and better things in 26?
No, there's still a bitter taste. I think that kind of, all the returning guys, I think that kind of just sits in the back of their mind. It kind of motivates us to, we can't take a game off. I feel like we got to play our best ball throughout the year, and we got to get hot at the right times. We got to pitch, and we got to play defense. We just got to play good, fundamental ball so we can go out there and win the championship.
Kind of segues really well into my next question, which is, what lessons did you learn from last year that maybe you're looking to take into this year?
Honestly, the biggest thing is like how consistency plays in baseball. A team that's always consistent throughout the season, they're going to have the best chance to win in the postseason. They don't, fluctuate and guys start struggling or things of that nature. But there's that consistency playing their good level of baseball throughout the year, and especially in the postseason, was one of the bigger lessons I've learned.
When you look at this year's roster, what do you see? Do you see a team that's ready to go back to the ship and give it another shot?
Absolutely. I think Matt Hape and Jason Chatwood, they do a great job of bringing in, guys that, can do it in big moments and, help a team go to the postseason. So I have full confidence in them that, I saw some of the returning players and some of the new players introduce myself, and I think this team's got it all.
You mentioned the coaching change. We go from Jason Chatwood to Matt Hape. He's no stranger to that dugout, so give us the inside scoop. What does he bring to the table in your eyes?
Well, I know him as a pitching coach, and he's really good at helping guys kind of get back in rhythm. If you have a little struggle, if you're working on things, he can help you out, get you back into game ready form. And I think Hape brings a lot of like the pitch calling to the game, helping catchers, call the game. I go to this pitch in this situation, helping guys kind of just learn the game with all of this experience. And I think Jason Chatwood, he's great at, kind of building the culture here at Sylvan. He'll always come in for a couple kind of talks with the team before games and before series and kind of tell them, the expectations he's got and, what we need to do to, keep our goals in mind.
Mm-hmm. One of the guys returning this year you didn't have last year. When I mention the name Cooper Czelski, what comes to mind?
MVP. I think that's kind of the thing that came to mind. Yeah, Cooper, that's a big bat we kind of need back. I think last year we had a ton of great bats that came up in clutch moments with Cooper 2 years ago with that great team. Yeah, he was outstanding, and it's nice to see him back.
Mm-hmm. As for yourself, any goals or expectations heading into the year?
My kind of goal is just to be playing my best ball for Sylvan. I think I got to figure a couple things out. A couple things I kind of struggled with at Cloud. So I think I'm going to go into the Sylvan season. I'm going to try and get stronger, a little bit fitter, and come back with 4 great pitches that I can throw for strikes at any time, and raise my chances to get out.
As a veteran in that room, what's going to be your key message or thing you want to really pass along, especially to those new Gulls players?
I think you got to do it for the fans. I think, taking away from like what Matty Fong would say and Josh Tucker, if he said anything, it was, you're here for the fan. And, the fans want to see you put on a show. You get the privilege to play here at Sylvan Lake with the facilities and all the amenities you get. So I think the biggest thing is kind of like, you got to play hard for the fans here. They're paying their good hard-earned money to come watch you play. You got to put on a show for them.
Absolutely. Speaking of Mr. Tucker, no Tucker this year, no Tyler Boudreau as well. How different is it going to be in that clubhouse, but also especially for that pitching staff to not have those two guys kicking around?
It's going to be a little different. I feel like, it's some good change because they are on to bigger and better things. And I think, this was always kind of a point that, it was going to be a time where Josh Tucker wasn't going to come in and give you 6 shutouts, punching out 12, and Tyler Boudreau is going to give you 8 and punching out 14. So I think that the little changes, there's going to be some guys stepping up. There's some, roles that need to be filled, and a lot of the guys we're bringing in, are ready for those roles and helping our team win.
Absolutely. Final question for you here, Kai, before we let you go. What would it mean to you to win a WCBL championship this season with the Sylvan Lake Gulls?
It'd mean a whole bunch. I know we were so close, 1 pitch away from doing it last year, and I remember how bad it stung, but it would mean almost the world to me. It's just a little fun memory that you can have, being like, yeah, we were the best on ball team in WCBL.
Fantastic stuff. Kai, always a pleasure getting to catch up with you. Continued success this summer with the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and we'll see you around the ballpark.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Next, we travel south to Okotoks, and one of the veterans looking to get the Dawgs back to the form that won them 3 straight championships between 2022 and 2024. Pitcher Brody Forno is a lifelong Dawg who spent his high school years with the Academy program. He's also coming off his senior season at Campbellsville University, where he went 4-7 with a 7.65 ERA and 14 starts, striking out 70 and 62 plus. The right-hander is looking to leave it all out on the field in his last hurrah. Brody, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome to be back here.
The 2026 season's upon us. How excited are you to get things rolling?
I'm pretty excited. Last ride for a couple of guys, Nash Grohl, Connor Krause, and Ricky Sanchez, and then as well as me. Last chance to play in front of these fans, so we're all pretty excited.
Is it a little different for you guys, though? It's the first time in a while that you're not coming back in as defending champs.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different vibe for sure, but I feel like we're a little more hungrier this year after the heartbreak in Sylvan Lake. So I think we're all excited to get back into the win column for sure.
Does your mindset change at all going in a bit? I've referred to it a bit as the hunters and the hunted, and for the first time you guys are hunters, so to speak. Or does your view of yourselves change at all, as you guys seem to always think that you're the team to beat?
I don't think it changes that much, though. I feel like the years past of the 3 championship teams, we just took one game at a time and just kept on building off of momentum and all that. So I don't think the mindset has changed a whole lot, but it's definitely, I feel like we're a little more hungry and trying to get back to the top.
Mm-hmm. And I'll call it, for lack of a better term, call it chips on the shoulder, looking to avenge how last year went.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a little more passion from the guys that experienced the heartbreak last year, and they're going to want it a little bit more this year, including me. I'm gonna go out and give all that I got, especially being my last year. So might as well just leave everything out of the tank.
For sure. You guys had media day just today, and having a chance to meet up with some old faces, also some new faces. I know you haven't played together as a group yet, but when you look at that roster, you've been around the block a little bit. How are you feeling about how everything's going to jive this year?
I think we're looking pretty good. Just watching the 2 days of batting practice and a couple bullpens of the guys that are here, we're looking sharp. We're looking ready to go and ready to fire. And and take back the crown for sure.
Speaking of, the team surrounded you with quite a few pitchers and some new faces, some old faces as well, some young guns as well. How big is that going to be in keeping all of you fresh heading into the stretch drive?
I think the biggest key is just like managing the staff properly. You know, if your starter's getting beat up a little bit, starting to get higher in the pitch count, get to the pen, and, you know, limiting the amount of innings that each guy are throwing out of the pen. If we stick to 1-2 innings, keeping those arms fresh and healthy throughout the year will help us during the big stretches especially.
Give us a little bit of the 4-1-1. How's that new pitching lab?
It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's pretty cool. I think there's 6 cages down there, a couple mounds, and it's awesome. It's great, yeah.
Walk us through what you do as a pitcher in that lab. Like, give us the inside scoop a little bit. What are you working on? What's available to you? And what do you kind of try to take away from each time that you're in there?
I think a lot of things like that are going to be happening in the pitching labs is just like working on your mechanics and like the downslope, getting good spin efficiency, and just trying to figure out how your body's going to move down the slope, not trying to force anything. And I feel like the new pitching lab is going to be a great key for these young pitchers as well.
For sure. Going into your senior season now, on a personal note, any expectations or goals of yourself going in?
Not a whole lot of goals, just trying to have fun, you know, remember like the experience that I'm going to have and just enjoy the last year of being here at Seaman Stadium. So I think that's just the biggest mindset, and just playing loose.
Mm-hmm. Fun one here. How many stolen bases are you gunning for this year?
Oh man, I'm hoping at least 2. I think I got two in the tank for sure. If I get the opportunity, I'm gonna jump on the first pitch, I think.
For those who may not have heard our conversation from last year, he may have come in as a pinch runner during the All-Star game and put on a show for the fans and end up getting a little dirty on the side at home plate. It was a fantastic thing. Final question for you, Brody, as we let you go. What would it mean to you to win another WCBL championship with your hometown Okotoks Dawgs?
It's the biggest dream, even just like growing up and being in the academy, just watching the older guys ahead of me winning championships, running around the stadium with my dad while he's working up top. It's just always been a dream to win a championship, and to win that 4th one, it'd be so sweet for the last year for sure.
Absolutely. Well, always a pleasure getting a chance to catch up with you, Brody. Congrats on the success to this point. Continued success this season, and we'll see you around the ballpark.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
We head to Lethbridge now to chat with veteran utility man Cardel Dick. The Vauxhall Academy grad had himself a great college season with the University of Nebraska Omaha, hitting .282 with 8 homers and 27 RBI in 35 games, on his way to being named second team All-Summit League. The Bulls have been solid the last few seasons, but can't seem to get by the Gulls or the Dawgs. Dick believes this is the team with the right mix to make it all happen. Cardel, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The 2026 WCBL season's upon us. How excited are you to get things rolling?
Oh, I'm pumped. It's looking great. The guys that are coming back, I'm really excited to play with them again, play with some of my old Vauxhall teammates, so that should be a blast.
I was going to mention that side of it, is that you got a lot of veterans on that squad. You got a lot of familiar faces again. When you look up and down that roster, what are you seeing?
I'm just seeing a lot of guys who are just coming back, ready to play, ready to have some fun, really enjoy summer baseball, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is just having fun and hanging out with your buddies and winning some baseball games.
You came so close to beating Okotoks 2 years ago. Same thing with Sylvan Lake last year. What do you got to do to get over the hump this season in your eyes?
I think it's just a combination of keeping guys healthy, and usually what happens is the teams that have the most guys stick around for the whole summer are the teams that have those deep playoff pushes, and the West is a really tough division, I think, so it'll be difficult to beat Sylvan and Okotoks, especially in the playoffs, but with the squad that's coming back this year, I think we have a really good shot.
Not only are you one of the vets, but you also have that leadership presence as well. What's your message to those guys just coming in for the first time? They're trying to get a sense as to the team identity and what you kind of want to see out of them day to day.
Just, enjoying coming to the ballpark. It's summer baseball can be a little tiring sometimes. It's a lot of games and not a lot of time, so just enjoying the days at the ballpark, and that way the team chemistry will really take off from there, and we'll just play better baseball as a result of that.
On a personal level, any goals or expectations of yourself going in?
Just playing a winning brand of baseball. I think that's always the goal, and obviously wanting to get over that playoff hump and make it to a championship and ultimately win.
It's kind of a home away from home for you as well with Vauxhall and Lethbridge. I mean, you grew up wanting to play in that stadium, and here you are now doing that. What's that like, getting to play in a place that you've kind of grown up in to a certain extent?
It's awesome. It's every night, especially the night games, go out there, and especially when it's a packed house and there's a lot of little kids there and they're asking for your autograph. Like, it's a really cool feeling, especially, you know, I used to be that kid that was asking for autographs and going to those games and idolizing the players on the field, and now I get to be that player on the field that those kids look up to, and that's a huge honor for me, and it just is sort of like a full circle moment. It feels awesome.
Have you perfected the signature yet? Have you been able to figure out how to sign a baseball, as an example?
Yeah, the signing a baseball is definitely pretty tough, but I think I've had enough practice, and I've got my signature figured out. It's just if you get a good pen or not, or a good ball, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you prefer a Sharpie or a pen?
For a baseball, probably a Sharpie.
And when you're signing that autograph, do you prefer to put your number somewhere in the middle of it or not?
Usually I do, just because I wear the same number for the Bulls as I do at school here in Omaha, so it's just sort of a force of habit. I always write my number in the top right next to my signature.
Very cool. I like that, just for the fact of, especially as years go on, people are like, who was that? And it makes it a lot easier to identify some of those signatures later on. So fantastic stuff. Yeah. Another question I had for you is, you've got a bit of a unique perspective because you've got some brotherly love going on in Lethbridge. There's a few sets of brothers, and you also happen to play for one of them. What's it like having Carlin around the dugout?
It's awesome. It's not really any different than what it was like growing up, and when he was still playing. He still always helps coach me, you know, with my swing and mentally and all that, and I can lean on him and ask him pretty much any question because he's done the same things that I'm doing now. So it's nice. It's a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun getting to play with him 2 years ago, because last time we did that, I was about 6 years old, so that was a really cool experience, and I'm really looking forward to this summer.
Absolutely. And speaking of, final question for you, what would it mean to you to win a WCBL championship with the Lethbridge Bulls?
Oh, it'd be awesome. I'd really love to do that. You know, Carlin got to do that a few years ago, and the last time they won it in 2021, I think. Mm-hmm. So that's always the goal every year, and I think it would be amazing if we could get that done.
Well, looking forward to seeing the journey unfold this summer. Cardel, really appreciate you taking the time. Continued success with Lethbridge Bulls, and again, was looking forward to seeing you around the ballpark.
All right, well, I'll see you around. Thanks for having me on the show.
We'll take a quick break here on the show, and when we come back, we check in with a guest from each of the Brooks Bombers, Fort McMurray Giants, and Energy City Cactus Rats. This is Alberta Dugout Stories podcast and the WCBL West Division Season Preview Extravaganza.
Canadian Hall of Famer, just a stud.
He is the Mount Rushmore, and it's just an image for where Canadian baseball has come.
He truly believes in this opportunity for the upcoming Canadian.
Loves Canada, super prideful. He just represents Canada really well.
And I can guarantee you wish the Morneau Cup was around for when he played.
I think that this tournament is going to show guys what they're capable of doing on a big stage and get them ready for what's next in their pursuit of trying to do what Justin did.
The Road to Okotoks, July 14th to 19th. Get your tickets at theroadtookotoks.ca. Welcome back to the show, and we'll keep things rolling with the number 4 ranked team in the West Division last year, the Brooks Bombers. They have a new head coach in Justin Gomez and a pretty new looking lineup as well. although there are a few veterans, including Calgary's Deri Steiert-Couture. He suited up in 20 games for the Bombers last season and is coming off a spring where he hit .254 with 4 doubles, 14 RBI, and 3 stolen bases in 34 games at Saracoso Community College. Deri, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The 2026 WCBL season's upon us. How excited are you to get things rolling in Brooks?
I'm pumped, man. I'm excited to be back for a second year. I'm excited to see the town of Brooks again and be a part of that community. It's something special out there.
Mm-hmm. What did you learn last year that maybe you'll be looking to bring into this summer?
It's a very team game. You got to have everyone going at once. You can't really have many passengers. Everyone's got to be on the same page and just all for each other. Just playing a team game, hard baseball, and taking care of yourself, making sure you're staying healthy for every game, and just playing hard every game.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the community. What makes Brooks stand out in your eyes?
Brooks, it's just they're a very sports-orientated town. I mean, they got the Brooks Bandits there, the hockey town. They love their hockey there, and they showed it for us on the baseball field. They love baseball there, and they take pride in their sports, and they cheer for us every game, every time we step on that field.
Very cool. Not being from Brooks, obviously, but you're a stone's throw away as you're born and raised in Calgary. How cool is that to be able to maybe have a few of the creature comforts around and not be that far from home, to maybe get mom and dad to come out to a ball game or maybe get some food from the home?
Oh, it's a privilege. It's pretty special. My parents get to come out lots and watch me play, and they haven't really done that since I was in high school, really. So it's always nice to see them. And Brooks, not far from Calgary, right? And
mm-hmm.
some familiar sights, right? Driving to the province to kind of get used to things. Driving around playing 13U, going up to Red Deer, whoever playing Edmonton. It's all the same thing. It kind of reminds me of back when I was a kid and just how fun this is.
Absolutely. And you're also not that far away. I mean, Okotoks is right there. They could go down to Lethbridge if they wanted to, Sylvan Lake. Like, you've got some options if the parents want to show up and see some different spots around the province too, eh?
Definitely, yeah. No, they try to make it out whenever they can. Dad's working, but they love coming out. They love baseball just as much as I do, and they like to watch me play, which is awesome.
Absolutely. I know it's early. You all haven't been together as a team yet, but when you look up and down that roster, what do you see? What do you like? What are you hoping that the team kind of encapsulates as you head into the summer here?
From what it looks like, we got a bunch of good guys. We got a bunch of solid guys going to solid schools. I'm excited. Really, obviously, I haven't talked to anyone really. There's a couple guys from my school going. They're pretty pumped, and yeah, I think we got a lot of young guys that might be their first time playing summer ball or first time in a league like this, and it should be exciting. I think it'll be a good group, and we should all come together and play some good ball together.
For sure. And obviously the goal is to get in the playoffs and see what happens when you get into the dance. The Bombers coming off a couple of seasons in the playoffs and didn't make it easy on either Sylvan Lake or Okotoks in either season. What do you think it'll take to get the best of them or anyone else this time around?
Those teams, they're solid. They got 1 through 9, and they play hard every game, and we give them a run for their money every once in a while when we had our guys going. Just to really get us going, really was just our camaraderie. We had a great group of guys. That's kind of what made it more fun. It just made those games easier. Lots of fun, really. It's kind of what most of it comes down to.
Of course, obviously during the summer, never a better time to check out a ball game. And obviously an opportunity as well to win a championship. That's my final question for you, Deri. What would it mean to you to win a ship this season with the Brooks Bombers?
Oh, man. That'd be sweet. Just for the town itself, that's just the amount of work they put in for us to even play is amazing. And, just being a part of a team and a group so special enough to win a championship, that means a lot for any baseball player in their career. It'd be pretty special just for anyone, really. I think that's just what obviously the goal is for us to, get back in the playoffs, and not only that, but do damage when we're there, right? So, yeah, it comes down to having fun, like I said earlier. But I think whoever has the most fun is the better team. So
looking forward to seeing what the Brooks Bombers have in store, and Deri is part of that puzzle. Deri, really appreciate you taking the time, and all the best this season. We'll see you around the ballpark.
No, sweet. Thank you for having me again, and yeah, hope to see you around. Thank you.
Next up, we head to the northernmost team, the Fort McMurray Giants, who are celebrating their 10th anniversary, although it's a bittersweet birthday of sorts, given it's also been 10 years since that massive Fort McMurray wildfire. Ian's written a great piece on how that season all played out for the Giants. It'll be a hometown kid repping the team on the show here as we get to know more about Jordan Breen, who spent this past spring at Clark University, where he hit .364 with 3 homers and 9 RBI in 23 games. Jordan, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The 2026 WCBL season's upon us. How excited are you to get things going?
I'm super excited just to be given the opportunity to play for the Giants. I haven't played at home in 4 years, so I'm looking forward, and also looking forward to meeting some of my new teammates.
That's 4 years. It's got to be a long time in your mind. What's that going to be like for you to be in front of friends and family for a summer?
It's going to be awesome. Just looking up in the crowd and seeing some familiar faces, and just getting to play in front of my family again. You know, being so far away, you don't really have family watching. Maybe your parents come and see you once in a while, but you never really get to play in front of like your extended family. So it's going to be very nice to play in front of them again.
For sure. After coming back home from Clark, was there anything in particular you were asking your parents to make you for supper right out of the gate?
Yeah, beef Wellington and maybe some stuff on the smoker that my dad always cooks up, like some armadillo eggs and whatever he likes to throw on the smoker. It's always nice to have that.
What's the key to a good beef Wellington in your eyes?
My mom makes it.
And mom can never go wrong, right?
No.
That is awesome. As you look ahead to the year that's coming up or the summer that's coming up, do you have any goals or expectations of yourself going in?
Yeah, I expect myself to show up every day, kind of work hard and just compete to the best of my ability, and to push myself to be a great teammate. And I'm sorry, not push myself to be a great teammate, but just to be a good teammate. And I just expect myself to just show up and compete at the best of my abilities.
I know it's early. You haven't all been together yet, but when you look at that roster, at least on paper, what do you see? What excites you the most?
I haven't really met anyone yet, so I'm just excited to just meet them, and I expect the same out of them, and to compete and to push for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, it's been oh so close to the playoffs for a couple of years now for the Giants. What do you think is going to be key to get yourselves into the dance and have some playoff success?
Just compete. There's the dog days of the summer, and going to be some long days, but just keep it together and bring it all we got, and just compete and just go day by day and just try to scrape some wins and just push ourselves through the best we can be.
For sure. Obviously, you get to be the hometown kid, so you get to also be the hometown tour guide. Are there any places in particular that you're maybe hoping to show your new teammates around town with?
We don't have like a lot of days off. Some we're off, maybe it's just to do some of the things that we like to do, like floating down the river here at home, or have a fire, just come hang out, and my dad can cook on the smoker and just have some fun, have some laughs, meet the new guys.
Absolutely. On the flip side, you mentioned you're on the road quite a bit as well. So in those moments, are you the guy who likes to be the jokester on there? Is there a lot of games going on, or do you like to kind of sit in your own element and throw on some earbuds and see what's going on in the music playlist or on shows?
No, I'm definitely the guy that likes to, on the bus, to have some laughs, maybe play some Mafia, just kind of hang out. I don't really... there's times where my music's on and to relax, but I like to play like the Mafia and just have some laugh on the bus.
Be a lot of great opportunities ahead in Fort McMurray. Final question for you here, Jordan. What would it mean to you to win a WCBL championship this season with your hometown Fort McMurray Giants?
Well, it'd also be great to bring home a championship to the Giants, and it would obviously be very nice to bring one home to Fort McMurray because we haven't got one yet here. So it'd obviously be very nice and to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on all the success you've had stateside, continued success this summer with your hometown Fort McMurray Giants, and looking forward to seeing you around the ballpark.
Thank you for having me.
And our final guest from the West is actually a catch-up with episode 305 guest Hudson Kozicki. The Sherwood Park native just put the wraps on his freshman season at the University of Mary, although he spent it rehabbing from injury. He's looking forward to getting a few innings in and refining his game heading into the fall with the Marauders. He's also been enjoying a few restful nights of sleep at home after a wild couple of days driving back from college. Hudson, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. I'm excited.
The 2026 WCBL season is upon us. How excited are you to get things rolling?
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I've always wanted to play in the league full time. I affiliated once and it was a blast, and I'm excited to be a full part of the roster this year.
I suppose from not just a team perspective, but also from a personal perspective, because you were dealing with some arm injuries earlier on in the year and you finally are able to ramp back up. How was it getting to finally pitch in a game after having to redshirt at UMary, and you got to pitch with St. Albert of all places?
Yeah, it was really nice. The rehab was tough, and it was more mentally draining than physically, honestly, just being so far away from pitching, but getting back in the swing of things, and thankful for my coaches at UMary and everyone back here that kind of helped me with the rehab. It kind of helped pass the time a little bit and get me better. And yeah, just being able to get picked up with the Tigers before the season started with the Cactus Rats I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, it felt amazing to step on the mound again for the first time in a while. And it went good, and the arm's feeling healthy. So can't really complain.
And obviously, you not only had to deal with that, but also a little bit of an extended road trip getting back here. Walk us through the longer version of a road trip back from UMary.
Yeah, it was quite the journey. So my dad and I decided to road trip it back up together because I had my car down there for college. And so we hit the road at about 3 a.m. and we're chugging along pretty steady. And at about 6 a.m., an hour out of Minot, we end up running into a deer, and it gets the best of us, unfortunately, and cracks my radiator, so we weren't able to drive. So then we ended up waiting about an hour and got the tow truck back to Minot and trying to figure out where to go from there. We're looking for rental cars, and then every rental car place there tells us they didn't have any with Canadian plates, so we wouldn't be able to get over the border and leave it there. So at that point, we were kind of thinking like God, flights are going to be too expensive. What's the move here? And one of the guys at the auto shop volunteered to drive us 2 hours to Williston, which we're very grateful for. And we ended up buying a 10-foot U-Haul, which was a little excessive for the amount of bags I had with me, but it did the job. And so we were getting over the border, and it looked a little sketchy when we pull up with 6 bags in the U-Haul, but they gave us the benefit of the doubt, thankfully. And then we're getting through Saskatchewan, and we get to Davidson, and we stop for gas, and the battery in the U-Haul dies, which was just brutal. That was the dagger. We were just drained at that point. And so we waited about an hour and a half to try to find someone to jump us because we were in the big U-Haul. And so thankfully a shop from around there came out and gave us the jump. And then from there, we just booked it back and left the engine running when we filled up the next time just to be safe. And and then ended up making her back in about 22 hours for a 12-hour road trip. So that was quite the day.
I bet you were kissing the ground when you got back home, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster. Just thankful to be home and thankful to see Mom and my brother and my bed. And it was good.
Fantastic. I mean, and you got to a lot of time, obviously, on the road to maybe think about things a little bit. You had a great season at UMary as far as a team is concerned. You set some school records for wins. So what did you learn maybe during your time there that you might be able to instill with Cactus Rats?
Yeah, it was a pretty special year for the group, and it was a really cool part being one of the younger guys of that group and seeing how we worked. And we had a lot of seniors that led the way super well. Like I know you interviewed Caleb Haney, and he was one of those big leaders that did a lot for us. And just seeing how those guys worked and how they not only like physically prepared but mentally prepared. And that was something that I really took away from it, was that it's more than just getting the arm ready to pitch. It's getting the mind ready as well.
Mm-hmm.
And our team did a great job at that. And I think we also did a great job at being present and taking things kind of a pitch at a time. And it's never as bad as you see as teams, is never quite as good as it seems, and just trying to stay even keeled. And I think that's something I'm definitely going to take into the season here with the Cactus Rats, is that, you know, like walking to an outing, never get too big for myself, never get too small for myself, and just try to stay level and do what I can for the team to be successful.
Speaking of that, do you have any goals or expectations of yourself going into the summer?
Yeah, you know, I'm not a big on stats goals, because I believe it just pitch and do my best I can and see what happens. But obviously, be in the zone as much as I can and let my ball move how it does. So limit the walks, get the strikeouts up a little bit, and from there it's just being as successful I can. You know, limit the runs, limit the free stuff, and get as many wins for the team as we can.
For sure. I assume as well that with that hard hat on the logo, there might be a bit of that mentality going into the season as well. What kinds of things are you hoping to pass along to maybe your teammates as far as the expectation in town for what this team's going to be bringing to the table every night?
Yeah, you know, I think Edmonton and Spruce especially is very well known for just being that gritty, that blue collar, that go get 'em kind of atmosphere. And I think that's something that we're definitely going to bring into it. Like, we want, like, everyone that's coming down is going to be a gamer, obviously, and we want to see that team kind of connect as quick as we can, just so we can play that gritty Alberta baseball that's known best around here.
Absolutely. And obviously the goal is to get into the dance, the playoffs at the end, and maybe win it all. So our final question we're asking during these WCBL season preview extravaganzas, what would it mean to you to win a WCBL championship with your hometown team?
Man, it would mean a ton to me. Like, it's pretty full circle coming around here. I've known Coach Blundell for a long time, and back when I was 9 and 10 years old, and we connected for the first time, he would have me out on the field and stuff, and I came out for playoff games back then, and when they were the prospects, and that was always the goal. The goal was to get there and get on the big stage and get to the playoffs with the prospects, now the Cactus Rats, and it's a huge goal for me, and it's a big thing I take pride in, just being from around here and being one of the homegrown kids. So yeah, it would mean a ton for me to make it to the playoffs and make a deep run for everyone around here.
Well, we're glad you're able to finally get back home and endure that a little longer than expected ride back home. Hudson, really appreciate the time. Best of luck this season, and we'll see you around the ballpark.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me again.
Thanks again to Kai Rempel, Brody Forno, Cardel Dick, Deri Steiert-Couture, Jordan Breen, and Hudson Kozicki for joining us on the WCBL West Division Season Preview Extravaganza. And thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. And we're not done yet this week, as tomorrow being Thursday, we'll be bringing you the audio version of the WCBL Reports Season Preview Show featuring myself, Ian Wilson, and Clark Monroe, which will help you get set up for opening day on Thursday and opening weekend. We'll also have one more episode ready for you this week, focusing in on women's baseball, which you won't want to miss. Then we promise we'll slow things down a little bit for next week. I'll get to those details a little bit later on in the week. Or maybe you don't want us to slow down at all. Maybe you want to see this thing go daily. Let me know what you think about how things have rolled out over the last few days. Drop us a note on social or over email at joe@albertadugoutstories.com. Maybe we'll read a few of those reviews on a future episode of the program. As always, a tip of the cap to our platinum supporters for making these shows come to life. The Okotoks Dawgs, Under the Light Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League have been fantastic partners in helping us tell the game stories by covering costs like travel and web hosting fees. For more on our tremendous teammates, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.